Hey, good afternoon. This is Neil, Simpler Futures at Simpler Trading. It is Monday, December the 4th, and a bunch of nothing today. But there is a possibility we get some volatility tomorrow with ISM and the JOLTS number, the JOLTS jobs number. That number has been important of late. There have been some decent moves created in the equity index space on that number, on that JOLTS number. So be ready for that tomorrow as a possibility. And if not there, then Friday, non-farm payroll. And then one last thing about, and I've got plenty of time to remind you again this week later for in the middle of the week, but end of this week, that'll be the last of the December contracts that we trade. We're going to roll to March next Monday. All right, so here we go. I put this, this is a volume profile chart, and I put that on a 1 hour for 20-day look back, and I did this because I wanted to take a, I don't know, a higher time frame, kind of a, elevated view snapshot of this, and for this purpose, and that is that where we came from. We came from the 4100s in the S&P on the lows and have rallied all the way up to 4600. Done that in a really short period of time. Basically did that just over the course of the month of November, really. And that's a big move. That's basically 10%. I think November closed tacking on 9%. Opened at the low for November. Let me get the numbers for you. November opened 42.05, low 41.91, high 45.97, basically 4600. Closed 45.77, settled. So that's tacking on 9% in the month of November. That's pretty impressive in the S&Ps. Which means, you want to take that into account. Do you want to buy the upper edge of a recent 10% move? Some may be, right? I don't know. But me, no, I don't. So I want a retracement. And listen, always remember this. I trade my own account. You probably trade your own account. And that affords both me and you the opportunity to make a decision. Do I want to participate? Is this market doing something that earns my participation? Willingness to engage? And no. Sometimes the answer is no. And right now, no. Maybe on a 5-minute chart, but if you've got six figures waiting to put into, shares of Apple, do you want to do it at this edge of this 10% move? I don't. I think we need a retracement. By the way, I'm looking to buy Apple, and I'm looking to pay $180, $180 and maybe a half, $180 and a half. And that's where I will pick up 500 or 600 shares of Apple, but I'm not going to do it here at 190. And that's just, the reality. But always remember, you don't have to chase this. In fact, you could argue that, having moved as fast and far as it did, the way that it did, and it's stalling up here at the top, right? That there are going to be some people that are going to just be the late longs. They're going to just not be able to stand it and just absolutely have to force themselves to participate and just jump in, right? Well, it'll be those late longs that are pressed on the retracement. If there is a retracement, I'm suggesting that I need a retracement in order for me to participate. Not on a 5-minute chart. If you want to buy a couple S&P contracts or something on a 5-minute chart, knock yourself out. I'm talking about if you've got money waiting to put to work, then I'm asking the question, do you want to do it here? For me, the answer is no. So what then would make sense? Well, let's look at, these are weekly charts. I mean, every one of these red lines represents 1 week of trade, right? So back here at the low, 43.95, this was the week of the November 6th. And then the next week, November the 14th, the week of that, 13th, 14th, the weekly balance point of control was 45.20. And then for the last 3 weeks in a row, it's been 45.65. That's 3 weeks of exactly the same balance acceptance point of control, 45.65. All right. Share this with you too. I actually also went back all the way back, not just haphazardly, but with a very specific reason and for a purpose. I went all the way back to the middle of May and included every single contract traded since then and roll adjusted, because we had June, September, and December contracts all traded over that period of time. So you have to roll adjust that. So I did that and came up with what's the point of control for all of that trade going all the way back to May. Answer, 45.65. So makes all the sense in the world now that we've been sitting here basically churning and mulling about at this price, 45.65. So what, long story made short, although this one's kind of turning into a long one, is that I'm going to need a retracement in order to start to kind of work my way back in. Now, we have a partnership, an affiliate, kind of a partnership with Spot Gamma, and they're looking at an upside call wall that's kind of hard to get through on the top side at 4,600, and the support as likely on a break at around 4,500, with the caveat that if successfully through 4,500 on the downside, that things could pick up steam pretty quickly to the downside. But for now, we have to give that the benefit of the doubt, and that is potential support at 4,500, right? Well, and overhead at 4,600. Well, we're at 4,600. So again, do you want to buy the upper edge of a move with a call wall just above at 4,600, where we've seen time and time again this thing try to press against 46 and so far fail? Or would you rather wait for a retracement down to around at least some proposed at now support around 4,500, improving your entry by obviously 100 points? The answer is simple, and it's a rhetorical question, obviously. So another way to look at this would be, come back with me to this week of the 11-13 back here. 45.20 is that point of control for that week, and it's naked. It was produced during that week, and since then this thing's just rallied away from it and has not come back, after moving away from it, has not come back down to test that price, which leaves that a naked point of control. It's like a gap. They matter. They fill, that kind of thing. There's another one down here, by the way, at 4,400. It too will trade one day. When, I don't know, obviously, but I mean, certainly it will at some point. So take all this that I'm sharing with you and we put it together and we say, okay, if not buying the upper edge of this move at 46, then at least what at a minimum? Answer, 4,500. I mean, and if you want to really try to dial it in down there, you pay very, very, very close attention at 45.20 first. That's the first spot. That's that naked point of control from the 13th back there. Now, you look at it and you say, how in the world can we possibly pay 45.20 when it's trading 45.75? Well, the answer is you can't without it pulling back, of course. And so what then might be the catalyst for a retracement such as that? Answer, tomorrow, ISM and JOLTS. Certainly not, if not that, not from payroll Friday. So, this is the same video we've done for the last couple of weeks because it's been the same price. At least I threw Apple in there tonight, right? I'm gonna buy Apple at 180. But and by the way, crude at 72, and gold made a new high. If you look at spot gold, it made a new all-time high at 21 and change, and has pulled back today. So we will monitor that retracement for a place to either add to longs or get long gold for another move towards the highs. So those are all little nuggets. But going back to the S&P here, so that means that it's the same as it ever was. It's the same as, song remains the same. It was like last week, 45.65 is your over-under. And if you have it in you, I don't. If you have it in you that you want to buy it here and reach for, a target above, then okay. Your target would be, well, I gave you 11s and 30s last week. It only traded 8. So I guess you'd put your target at, now at this point we call it 46, 20, and 30 on the top. Those would be your 2 bull targets on the top. But what I would rather do is let it show me that it's rolling over, getting below this 45.65, and find a way to either sit tight and let it retrace or participate in the downside for the objective 45.20, where then and there I look at longs as a potential for, it'll be 45.20 or right in there, 4,500, but it'll be right in there. So I would say that would be a short target, 45.20 and 45.08, 7, 45.20 and 07 would be, those are your bear targets. And those are also the places that we look at putting money back to work and looking at that move up to those bull targets that we're talking about. So that's it. That's what I got. Hopefully it's kind of long-winded, but with any luck, this made sense, and find a trading opportunity in it. Come give us a look in the trade room if you like, and we'll do this all day, every day, level to level. In fact, we didn't really get. We only got one little target today, down to 55. I was actually really looking for it to trade down a couple of points below 45.50 today and bounce back into 70 and kind of call it a day right back in the middle at 45.70. I don't know, that kind of sort of played out. It never got 50. But here's the reason for all that. Today's daily point of control for the day, just for the day, is 45.70. Last week, we just looked and we said, oh yeah, it was 60. I just told you that. And on Thursday, there was a naked, going back to naked point of controls, or some people call them virgin. Either way, it's the same thing. It just means one that was created and hasn't been tested or seen since it was created. There was a naked one from last Thursday at 55. What's the low today? 55. So it came down here and closed up a naked VPOC from last Thursday, and then bounces back into what? Daily point of control balance at 70. So that's the same kind of thing that I'm suggesting on that higher time frame. It just obviously it takes longer to do that on a bigger time frame, but it's the same type of price action, just on different time frame, right? Intraday, we look at 5-minute charts or whatever, and then swing trades, I'm looking at 4-hour and daily. Okay, take care. Good evening. I'll talk to you again soon. Good trading.
Without simpler trading, I could not have financial independence.
This is one of the best investments I ever made in my life.
It's helping me find consistency. It's one of the things that won me